Well, welcome back to Portland, the garden spot of New England. It's cold as a witch's tit on this boat. It's about 25 degrees, which is a little bit too cold to work. But the plan was to get that hatch out, and porthole, I mean. And we got it out. And then the plan is to go to Defender in Waterford and take advantage of a sale they have and see if we can buy 4 new ones, using the old one as kind of a template to make sure we get exactly the right size. So I'll show you what we did. Well, there was no getting that last nut off this bolt, so we drilled away at this. I don't know what this stuff is. It's plastic of some kind. Looks like this. When you drill it out, broke off a drill doing it. But we got it out. There's the great outdoors, and there's the hatch. So that's going to go to Defender, and we're going to put a piece of tarp over this, tape a piece of tarp over it. The trim ring is still on the outside. Of course, I can't get that off because this bolt. I don't have a hacksaw with me, so we'll do that next weekend. That's not too important. But I got to measure the thickness. It turns out this white plastic thing is just somehow clamped onto the hull. The hull is out there. And this is separate, which I didn't realize. So they've got a fairly thick surface here, and I think they have to know the thickness when you do the order the new hatches. So we're going to tape this up, cover it, and then head down to Waterford. Well, we're back from a ride to Waterford and Defender Marine. Lots of good customer service there, and no customers really. So we got somebody's full-time attention, and they went over every last port assembly that they had, porthole assembly, and came up with one that not only fits, but it's exactly the same as the old one. This is the old one, and I'll show you in a minute. It's identical dimension-wise to the new one. The way they close them is different. The old ones had these turn things. These have all been repaired over the years. You can see you flip this over and flip this little arm down, and then you can open the window, flip it back up. Hope you can see that. And then you tighten it down. All of these have been, well, this one's been repaired, and I think most of the other ones have been repaired at one time or another. This one, the existing ones on the boat are like a shower door. You can't really see through them. Well, this one has a lot of air and stuff in it. I bought clear ones, new ones clear, which I think let in a little bit more light. And they have an improved cam locking mechanism where you flip these guys up and then open the hatch. But pretty happy about the fact that I'm not going to have to drill all new holes. I'm going to just close these up again for a sec. The old trim ring that goes on the outside of the boat is still on the boat. But this is the trim ring that comes with the new one, and when you read the directions for installing this thing, they tell you that after you've installed the hatch in the boat, you can just slap this on the outside this way, and it will stay all by itself. It's just a bit of magic. They say the sealant will suffice. Well, sorry, not for me. I'm not going to see one of these things come off the boat and end up in the middle of Long Island Sound someplace. So their alternate for putting it together is to drill holes in the trim ring and run the bolts all the way through here and in, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We can use that as a pattern. So we're ready to install a new porthole in the guest area. It's kind of cold here. It's about now down to about 18 degrees here, and I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. So I'm not sure that putting sealant on at that temperature is a really good idea. So we may postpone installing these things, or at least this first one, until a warmer day, maybe next weekend. Interestingly, Defender only had 2 of these, so I bought the 2 and ordered the other 2, and they're coming from, they'll be here this week. These are made by Bexon, Bridgeport, Connecticut, incidentally, and I guess they've been in business a long time. The old ones are in pretty bad shape, but it is 36 years, so I think these will be fine. Since I don't think I'm going to last 36 years, I think these will be fine for our use. So I'll give you a look at a close-up of what some of this looks like. Here's the old one. You can see that somebody put a bolt through there and a stop nut. Over on this side they put a bolt and didn't put any nut. And the new one, if I can get the trim ring off, the new one has exactly the same pattern, the whole pattern. Which means I will not be drilling a lot of holes in the boat. That makes me really happy. And here's how the unlocking mechanism works. Kind of nice for a change. Not doing a very good job photographing it, but well, the furnace is on again, so I think it's time to put this stuff away and move on to our next project this afternoon. Well, it's Sunday, and woke up this morning to a balmy 5 degrees below zero on my back porch, and it's probably about 55 here in my office, although upstairs in the house it's nice. So it's a little too cold to whip down to Portland and try to install that hatch. I'm thinking that the adhesive probably wouldn't mature very well in this temperature anyway, so we're better off to leave that to a warmer day. The one thing I didn't mention that I will want to remember in the future is that those Bexon ports had a regular price of $177.95, but because of the sale, I got them for $140.75. So that's a pretty nice savings over 4. And now I'm glad I went down early yesterday and wrestled that old one out and got to measure it. They didn't think they had a port that would fit that dimension, but very close. And when I got the one out of stock and we opened the box and realized that it was almost identical, I was certainly happy about that. So we're going to go ahead and do some editing here this afternoon. As the temperature, I just noticed, is up to 5 degrees now, so we've had a 10-degree rise in temperature since 7 o'clock this morning. That's always good. And we're looking forward to some warmer days this week. So we'll put together the video and do a blog.